Saab explains that midlife upgrades, or MLUs, are usually carried out 15 to 20 years after a submarine or ship's launch, and is a process that involves adding new capabilities and adapting the vessels to the changing operational environment. The defense firm adds that in 2026, the Swedish Navy's Visby-Class corvettes will begin their MLUs, receiving new air defense systems, among other things. So let's take this opportunity to go over the background of Sweden's Visby-Class, as well as its current status and the fleet's future. Developed throughout the mid and late 1990s, the ships we know as the Visby-Class today were the result of the YS-2000 program, with YS standing for Ytstridsfartyg, meaning surface combatant. Their unique design, with a focus on stealth, had help from the experimental testbed vessel known as Smyge, which itself was built in 1991. In 2002, Sweden's procurement agency, the FMV, conducted the first real tests with a Visby corvette, and the first two ships, HMS Helsingborg and HMS Härnösand, were handed over to the Swedish Armed Forces in 2009. By 2013, 3 more ships were handed over to the Navy: HMS Visby, HMS Nyköping, and HMS Karlstad. While looking the same on the outside, the first 2, Helsingborg and Härnösand, were delivered in what was known as version 4. The other 3, Visby, Nyköping, and Karlstad, were delivered as version 5s. Then, after the FMV delivered all Visby-class corvettes to the Swedish Armed Forces, Helsingborg and Härnösand would be upgraded to version 5, with final delivery of Härnösand in early 2015. As noted by navaltechnology.com, the upgrades between version 4 and 5 included the qualification of RBS-15 anti-ship missiles, equipment for landing and refueling of helicopters, equipment for mine hunting and mine destruction, additional weapons, the HF-2000 radio system, and additional sensors. According to the FMV, Visby-class corvettes can be used with the following capabilities: anti-submarine warfare, or ASW, surface combat, air defense, maritime surveillance, escort and maritime security, and finally, humanitarian missions, incident response, and participation in NATO operations. And so perhaps it's at this point in the video that we cover the Visby-class's specific armaments and technical specifications. Each ship has a crew of 43, a displacement of 650 tons, and an overall length of 72 meters with a width of 10.4 meters and a draft of 2.4 meters. These ships can exceed speeds of 35 knots if fitted with high-speed machinery, but move at a speed of 15 knots in their low-speed configuration. In terms of armament, each Visby-class ship in the version 5 configuration has the following: 8 RBS-15 Mark II anti-ship missiles, a Bofors 57mm cannon, 4 400mm torpedo launchers for Torped 45 torpedoes. Ships also carry mines and depth charges and have air defense countermeasures in the form of the Multi-Ammunition Soft Kill System, or MASS. For management systems and sensors under version 5, each ship has Saab's Sea Giraffe AMB 3D surveillance radar, the Saab Seros 200 fire control system, and the Saab 9LV Cetrus combat control system with integrated fire control. They also have the sonar system 135 with active and passive towed sonar, hull-mounted sonar, and sonar buoys. But Sweden isn't stopping there. Indeed, the country's armed forces and its FMV have continued to invest in these ships with the goal of keeping them in service through 2040. FMV has been tasked by the Swedish Armed Forces to carry out a midterm modification/midlife upgrade, or MLU. Once the MLU has been completed, the corvettes will be delivered to the Swedish Armed Forces in version 6. As highlighted in a paper by Lund University, air defense enhancement is the central component of the version 6 upgrade, with the integration of surface-to-air missiles, or SAM, to enhance the ship's ability to defend against aerial threats. The paper, which we'll link to in the video description, mentions 24 Sea Scepter missiles. As of late 2020, the intention was to have the first version 6 ship delivered in the 2025 to 2028 timeframe. However, a May 2025 press release from Saab notes that its work on modifying the Visby-Class corvettes and installing the system will only begin in early 2026. The Saab press release adds that the value of the upgrade is 1.6 billion Swedish krona, equivalent to over 148 million euros. In addition to the missile upgrade, a March 2026 article by militaraktuell.at states that sensor systems are being modernized, with the aim being to detect very small and slow-flying drones. The website also highlighted that HMS Neerschöping was the first ship to complete the operational tests of these upgrades at sea, and that very small drones were shot down under real conditions. According to project managers, the performance of the system exceeded expectations. And while the Visby-Class's special stealth abilities have been covered many times by others, let's quickly go over this aspect to conclude this video. The Visby-Class corvettes are ships built of carbon fiber reinforced plastic laminate, which helps make them difficult to detect on radar and with thermal imaging cameras. Indeed, the result of these efforts is a combination of very low signatures, which makes the ships difficult to detect. The material and construction technology were developed in Sweden in a collaboration between FMV, Karlskronavarvet, and the Royal Institute of Technology. According to the Swedish website Ny Teknik, the Swedish state, together with Saab Kockums, owns the patent on the concept in Europe and the USA. Further helping with the Visby's stealth is that the engines feature water jet propulsion units, also called water jets. These make the ship quieter while still being easy to maneuver. It's added that the minimization of signatures and signals help to increase the effect of each ship's own sensors and countermeasures to avoid being hit and to make detection and identification more difficult or impossible, both in the air and in water. So that's the current state of Sweden's Visby-Class. These ships will eventually be complemented by Luleå-class frigates, the Swedish Navy's planned new surface combatants. Where Visby-Class ships are 72 meters, the new frigates are expected to have a length of around 120 meters. Of course, at the time we're making this video, Sweden has yet to choose a specific design and shipbuilder for the Luleå class. With bids from France, Spain, and a joint bid from Sweden's Saab and the UK's Babcock, we'll be sure to report on the result of this competition as soon as the news is made available. But what are your thoughts on the Visby-Class corvettes, their current and future capabilities, and Sweden's plan to use them for another 15+ years? Let us know by leaving a comment.